Hearing your baby cry is like one of the worst sounds in the world, especially when you know that she's crying for you. So just find a reason that you can keep telling yourself while you're sitting there in the other room listening to your baby cry. The biggest one for me was that it's a life skill that she's learning and it's going to benefit her for her whole life. I want her to be able to put herself to sleep when she wakes up in the night as an adult, as a toddler, as a little kid in daycare. I don't want anyone to have to pat her to sleep, rock her bed to sleep for her whole life. And so it's something that's a skill. And that was the biggest one for me. Number two, just make sure all the physical needs of your baby is met, because if you know your baby's cry, so if she's going to start crying because she's hungry and you know that's the hungry cry or whatever, you're not going to be able to continue sleep training and you're going to have to go in there, which I think is fine. I think that you should make sure that your baby's fine, but just make sure that her diaper's clean, her room is warm enough or cool enough depending on where you live. We still have a space heater because it's freezing here. But just make sure that all the physical needs are met so that you don't have any distractions and it's a good time for you to start doing the sleep training. Three, make sure that it's good timing for you and for your baby. We waited until like exactly 7 months is when we just happened to start. Before that, Kate was sick a lot, and so I was never comfortable like letting her cry it out because she had a fever or because she just needed cuddles. I also wanted to do it though before she could pull herself up on her own, because I know that I would be sitting there watching her on the monitor if she could like stand up and be scared that she didn't know how to lay herself back down and that's why she was crying or something. And I also didn't want her to be able to say my name, so that even though I know she's crying for me to go pick her up, I don't want her to be crying my name. That would be horrible for me. So just 7 months was kind of the sweet spot for us for those reasons. For nursing, I'm still nursing, and so that was something that I had a lot of questions on that I couldn't find a lot of resources on the internet for, was sleep training and nursing. So the biggest thing for me was just if she was fed enough before she went to sleep. So we would always feed her dinner and then I would nurse her to sleep prior, and so now I nurse her before she goes to sleep. So I know that she's full. I know she's old enough that she does not need to eat during the night, but if your child does need to eat during the night still, if you're trying to do it when they're littler, I'm all for doing that, but you can nurse and then put him or her down to cry it out after you nurse. And then they can learn how to put themselves to sleep, and they know, like, I'll wake up, I'll eat, and then I'll be able to just put myself to sleep. If your baby's old enough and you don't want to like cold turkey cut out the night nursing, what you can do is maybe like over a span of 3 nights, average out, like time your nursing sessions and average them out. So if they're eating for like 7 minutes a night, then you start cutting back 1 minute each night until you hit 0 for those night nursing sessions. We decided to keep one of them, which is like her latest one. It's been 5:30 this last couple of like these last 3 nights, only because I work full time and so I don't get a nurse very often, and so that's something that I just wanted to keep, but it would easily be cut out when she's ready. On that note though, nursing correlates with diaper changes, so along with physical needs, if you are still nursing 4 times a night, your baby's probably going to need diaper changes still. So just decide whether or not you're going to still nurse, and make sure that you're changing the diaper if they need. Otherwise, they're crying because they need a diaper change, and that's going to throw the whole thing off. Just make sure you follow along with that for how many you are nursing for. Number 5, sleep associations. So Kate still goes to sleep with a binky, which I have no problem with, but there's like being rocked to sleep, patted to sleep, anything like that, or like a swaddle or magic sleep suit. Before, we had Kate in a magic sleep suit and a light swaddle over her legs because she kicks all the time, so she would wake herself up. But we figured she wasn't sleeping well through the night at all. She was waking up to 5 times a night. But she couldn't roll over in the sleep suit, so that wasn't comfortable for her, I'm sure, not to be able to like adjust. her position during the night. So those kind of sleep associations that she was used to, you need to make sure whether you're going to keep them or not, but just be consistent no matter what. We do let her sleep with the binky, but I don't go back in anymore past the second night of sleep training. I didn't go back in to put it in at all. It's just something that she falls asleep with. I don't pat her to sleep. I don't do anything to have her sleep association. She's been a rock star. She's been just putting herself to sleep at night, at nap times, at home, mostly nap times at daycare, and she's been really good with it. The last one is just to have a consistent bedtime routine that kind of cues her little brain that it is time to go to sleep. It doesn't have to be long. Ours is not. We don't do bath time at night. We do it in the mornings because she gets riled up. I don't think that it's a really good soothing thing because she just kicks and has fun in the water. So we just feed her dinner. I don't have a whole lot of time in the evening, so I come home, make dinner, we feed her dinner, and then we change her diaper, read a book if time allows, but usually it doesn't because I want her in bed by 7. But as we change her diaper and get her into her pajamas, she kind of knows that it's time to sleep, and then we put a sleeping suit, a sleeping bag over her, a wearable sleep sack over her, and then I nurse her and then I put her binky in and put her into bed, and she knows that it's time to sleep. We also, her whole entire life, have put on Brian Crane Pandora, and that's instrumental piano Pandora, so that definitely cues her that it's time to sleep because every night of her life she's had that. But good luck. I hope that helps anybody, and if not, that's okay. But let me know what works for you guys, and I can share it with everyone. Thanks for watching.